So, in Ostruzenburg, it said crime rate has increased in St. Petersburg, and there are a lot of pickpockets. So I'm vlogging on my mum's phone because it's the least valuable phone we have, and I'm not actually taking my phone because it's got all the footage from these vlogs on. And if you're watching this, all the vlogs have been made and nobody's stolen my phone. The eagle-eyed people would have noticed the quality has dropped a bit, but it's better than not having anything. Enjoying just going through the city because I've never ever seen anything like it ever before, so it's quite enjoyable. Thank you. Look how modern this place looks. Let's show you the outside now. You might change your mind. And believe it or not, it's just in this building. This is a very beautiful car park for a shopping centre, don't you think? I hope you've enjoyed seeing a double dose of palaces today. The first one was where the Tsars lived in the summer, and this one is where the Tsars lived in the winter. Now the Tsars were the very powerful people who owned Russia, and they kept all the wealth for themselves, and they were quite kind of rich compared to other people. They didn't realise how much wealth they had compared to the other people. So this palace here we're just leaving is used as an art gallery, and when we went in, I hope you saw all the art and all the sculptures, and our guide was talking to us through a headset. We listened to him through these headphones about each of the paintings and the sculptures. And from both the palaces, I'm very amazed at kind of the design of them all and how kind of posh and fancy they were. And I like looking at the art as much as I like looking just at how the room looked, basically. And if you kept seeing green jars, that is made by I've forgotten the name of it, but it's made by a mineral that's found underground in Siberia, and it's used a lot to make decoration and also jewellery. And it's quite amazing how these palaces here, we've not left it yet, we are now, look so rich and amazing. And then lots of the city we've driven through is poverty, there's scaffolding, there's paint coming off. It's just amazing how that's all really poor compared to those palaces. But I mean, it's been a good experience seeing Russia because it's different to anything I've ever seen before, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We don't know the itinerary. Today we just got on the tour and we didn't know where they were going because I think he made it up as he went. So that gold thing you saw is called a peacock clock, and it was made by a British guy who gave it as a present to one of the Tsars, and it looks very, very, very good. Alright, so our tour guide today was actually really, really funny. Stop it! Stop making me laugh. So basically, there was our bus, and then there was a bus of Indian people behind us, and he said, "Oh, there's a lot of Indians in that bus behind us. Those Indian people are very different to us." And also, he said, whenever there's a, he said, "Oh, there's lots of Chinese around here. Whenever I have a Chinese in my group, I never know who they are because they all look the same." Like, you wouldn't be allowed to say that and get away with it in England, but in Russia, they must be a bit more relaxed. Also, when we were in the art gallery thing, he said he wanted to say, "Take as many pictures as you want," but he accidentally said, "Take as many paintings as you want." So we could have just took all the £millions worth of paintings, and there would be no cage because he told us to do it. Also, at the first palace we went to, we lost a man basically, and then he didn't really look for him, he just walked round and he was like, "I can't find him," and then he was like, "We will carry on the tour and have a second attempt for looking for him later." Like in England, you'd lose your job for doing that basically. They're a bit more relaxed in Russia, and there's not like, you can say things which are politically incorrect to say in England. And also, we went to McDonald's. He had a burger, some fries and a drink. Then there was a KFC next door, so we went to KFC and got a burger and some more chips. And I'll stop speaking about him in a second, but whilst we were queuing, because we had to queue to get into the palaces, the guy in front was like taking a selfie, and then he was like, move, come on, why aren't you moving?" And because he had a microphone and we all had headphones on because it's bots thing, we could hear him very clearly, and it was actually quite funny. And he had the microphone right by his mouth, so when we were walking to the place, we could just hear, and it was, and then when he sneezed, it was like, we were all going to die of hearing loss. So yeah, we've got the same tour guide tomorrow, and it's going to be exactly the same setup tomorrow. I'll leave and get back, supposedly, at the same time. So just let's see what tomorrow holds. Kind of transport. I think it will be very wobbly. Right, so that photo with the bunny, basically, she came up to us and she was like, high five, and then she was like, time for a picture, and none of my family wanted it. So I walked up to her and hugged her, okay, for a picture. And then we had a normal picture after that, okay. But I was really scared hugging her because I thought she would grab me and kidnap me, and she had a very high-pitched voice, so I thought it was going through my head that it was a man who wanted to kidnap me, or also that they would do like they did in England, but shh about that. Then she took off her mask, and then she was like, that's 300 rubles just for a photo. And my dad was like, we can delete the photo if you want, but in the end we gave her 100, which is £1, but she was asking for £3 translated. But we would have had a photo with her if we known we had to pay. Right, so it was sort of a shame there was scaffolding on, but I still thought it looked very good. Also, you might not have seen it on the footage, but the whole inside was mosaics. It would have took ages to do, and it looked very good. So this is where Peter the Great was buried, and St. Petersburg is actually named after him, so it's important. So basically that last room was the tomb of Nicholas, and he was the last Tsar, and he was shot dead. Firstly because Russia weren't doing very well in the war, and secondly he was distant from the people, and so people went in and shot his whole family, even his children, and that was the end of the Tsar's rule. And that's the church, it looks good, the Tsar's rule of Russia. Talk, going on the metro, yippee.
Look into my eyes and show me your adventures I haven't seen. Taking all the life, it hits the spot. Walking on fantasy. So take me, baby, take me to a state of mind that's made of, baby, that's made of all that we find. think we're getting close. Racing through the waves, I want to be where nobody knows. Take me, baby, take me to a state of mind that's made of, baby, that's made of all the love we find. Electric, feel it in your hands. Hypnotic, watch your body stand. Happiness, this is where we stand.
Right, so after five land days in a row, we are finally going to have a sea day tomorrow. So after 5 days of chaos and full-on action, we get to relax tomorrow because we virtually had 5 full days out in a row. So Russia is the furthest point away from Southampton, which we're sailing to. Now, as we've been going here, we've been stopping off at each place. On the way back, we're only making one stop, which is in Germany, and we've got a tour booked going to Berlin. Okay, so out of the 4 days left, and the 5th day is one where we get to Southampton early in the morning, so I'm not classing that. Out of the 4 days left, 3 of them are sea days. So we've had all our fun, and now it's going to be more relaxing, and kind of setting sail as fast as we can home, apart from with one stop. Now, I hope you've enjoyed watching Russia. It was something different. It was very, very stressful at the end because we had to get the metro back, but we didn't have enough time, and we had to be back to the ship at 5:30. We actually got back at about 5:45, but the ship only sails at 6, so they just say 5:30 because just in case somebody's late, they won't be late for the ship, if that makes sense. So we rushed to get the metro because Victoria said at the start we'll go on the metro, and there was only a small amount of time and everybody wanted to, so we just went one stop. Now, the rest of the tour got onto a carriage, but I thought there was another carriage and there was no queue, so I just thought, let's go there just to avoid the queue. Then it turned out I was actually in a different carriage, which is normal London Underground. You can just walk through from the start of the train to the end of the train. Yeah, there was like a door thing in the little glass window, and I was stuck. So I was like knocking really loudly to get my parents' attention because they didn't know where I was. I was literally banging it. And everybody in the carriage I was in was giving me funny looks, like they thought I was mad and they had to go home and tell their families that there was this mad person on their train banging the window. And yeah, they got my attention, and I was in a different carriage to them, and it was nice and peaceful because the one they were in was very crowded. So tomorrow we're going to have a lie-in, and you won't see as much footage because we've done so much filming. It's just too much now. One more thing I'm looking forward to so much when we go to Germany is actually being able to get internet again. I can personally only use my data in the EU, and if I don't, I'll be charged a fortune, literally £5 for every megabyte. And I get 4 gigabytes of data. So if I use all my data, it will cost like £5,000. And I've run out of it anyway. But in Germany, I'll be able to hotspot it to my phone from other people's data, and I'll be able to get lots and lots of internet because you can't really use it in Russia, and you can't use it at sea, which is annoying. So that does it for now. Thank you for watching, and here's the outro.
Test the waters, oh, it's hard. I think we're getting close. Racing through the waves, I want to be where no